Hello, everybody. Bill Thornton, SoCalSabre here. Welcome to spinning number 61. This is the Saturday video where we're going to show and talk about the albums and CDs that I listened to this week. And at the end, I will tell you the two that I had the most fun with this week. Not that they were better albums than anybody else or any of the others that I enjoyed because of memories or whatever, but the cause might be what they're. So anyway, we're going to get started. Before we do, though, go down there and hit that like button. And if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Help the channel grow. Put some remarks down there. Do all the good stuff. And hit that bell. Be notified of anything that I put out in the future. So the first thing we're looking at today is a whatnot addition to the collection this week. It's the number 1976 album, No Reason to Cry by Eric Clapton. Came in really pretty good shape for an album this old. Got a little bit of a crease down here in the front, but other than that, I forget. I'm gonna have to look and see. It's got a little first signs of ring work appearing up here, but not very much. This was the fourth studio album by Eric. Some of the guests he had, there goes that phone, that Bill Thornton famous phone that he forgets to turn off every stinking time he does a video. Okay, he had some guest artists. He had Bob Dylan appeared on it, Ron Wood, Marcy Levy, and members of the band participated on it. Okay, and here's the inner. It's one of Clapton's most internationally successful albums from the 70s. Reached top 30 in 7 national music album charts, hitting top number 10 in the UK, peaking at number 4 in the Netherlands, where it topped out respectively, while in New Zealand and Sweden. Really good stuff here. Some of the songs, I guess, Hello Old Friend. This is probably the first time he released it. I've heard it on other albums. I've got quite a few things by Eric in my collection. I should have counted them up again, but I didn't. The vinyl was in. I'm going to have to look and see what did I grade that vinyl on. I can't see it right now. It's a VG plus. You know what? Because of that, I'm going to take that down to VG because of that crease I just found. Okay. That's still pretty good for an album that's this old. 49 years. It's on the RSO album. Looking here. No scratches. No scratches. Played very nicely. So most of you know I'm a pretty big Eric Clapton fan, so this was a nice addition to the collection. I'd never heard it before. Picked it up on Whatnot. I'm having a hard time getting it back into this protective sleeve here because the protective sleeve will not open. Unbelievable, folks. I took it out of there. There it goes. And, oh, this old thing saying, I don't want to get back into that new shirt. There we go. No Reason to Cry by Eric Clapton from 76. Next was an album that I bought with some of my Christmas money. It was a 2024 release. And it's the No Name Blue album by Jack White. Most people probably remember Jack from his time with White Stripes and all of the good stuff he did then. This is the first solo album that I have listened to and bought by Jack, and it was pretty good. I can't say it was his sixth studio album, and it was written, recorded, and produced entirely by Jack White at Third Man Studios in Nashville. Musically, it's a garage rock, blues rock, and punk rock album. Vocals recorded lower, so inclusion of the lyrics was a nice Yeah, I showed you the front and back. The the vocals itself, I thought were recorded pretty low. That if I didn't have this, I would have been wearing a headset and really paying attention. But they did include the lyrics, and I'm very happy that they did. And No Name is nominated at the 76th Annual Grammy Awards for the Best Rock Album. I don't think it won it, but I'm not up with what the awards were, if they happened already. And we'll take a look at it. Nice heavy 180 or maybe even 200. This is No Name by Jack White, 2024 release. And here we go. There we go. I was going to say, here we go again. So that was No Name by Jack White from 2024. Good addition. I do have a couple things from the White Stripes. The one that I really like is the big double or triple album, whatever it was, is their greatest hits. That one is pretty cool. What do we got next? Oh, we got, this is a whatnot that I got from Esky. It came sealed. All right, so it meant it had probably never been opened or never been played before. And this is 1970 album On the Waterfront by John Lee Hooker. This is really some good, great old blues stuff. You know, and I could not find anything written about this album on Discogs or listed as in his discography. This is crazy. It's probably, so it must be a bootleg. He's an American blues singer, songwriter, and guitarist. His date of birth is still up for debate. There's about 3 or 4 different dates it had. And he was inducted into the Blues Hall of Fame in 1980 and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1991. Not listed in the discography. But I'm going to tell you, I really enjoyed this. This was really good. Some good stuff here. I like on the back, it says also available on 8-track cartridges and cassettes. That says that right down here at the bottom. That should show you how old the album is. And it came sealed. I didn't know it was sealed when I bid on it from Esky, and then I won it. This is from the Wand label. So anybody who knows any information about this particular album, please let me know. Let me know where to go look. I'd like to know a little bit of history. I looked up his Hooker's history and didn't say too much about it there either. So that was my third one of the week. Really good stuff. On the Waterfront from John Lee Hooker, 1970. Good stuff. You like blues, old-time blues, especially. Well, it was next was another new one I bought with the Christmas album, with the Christmas gift cards, and I still have more gift cards to spend. I just haven't done it yet. Is the 2024 release by The Cure titled Songs of a Lost World. We got something going on outside the house. I don't know if you can hear that in there. This is the fourth Cure media into my collection. It's the 14th studio album by the English rock band. And this is the band's first release of new material in 16 years since the release of 4.13 Dream in 2008. All the songs in the album are composed solely by singer-guitarist Robert Smith. The lyrics are on here. Really hard to read. The font is pretty small and it's just kind of black onto a grayish. That doesn't work all that well for me anyway. I'm sure it did for somebody or they wouldn't have put it in there like this. Okay, let's see if I got any more notes up here. I'm sure I do. It was It was a commercial success, being their first album since Wish in 1992 to reach #1 in the UK and also one of the fastest selling albums of 2024. Well, it's a 2024 album, but I waited until 2025 to buy it. But I did hear a lot of reviews from about it. I thought it was okay. I thought it was good, but it won't be on the top of my list for this week. So that was the 2024 album released in November of 2024 by The Cure, titled Songs of a Lost World. Well, it was time then to go, as we do every week, into my CD collection. The first one is number 64. And I'm really glad I'm doing this because these are some of the things that I forgot I even owned and liked. But this is the 1989, I believe it is. No, the 1990 album, Blue Sky Mining by Midnight Oil. The 7th studio album by the Australian alternative rock band. And this is the second by them in my collection. In March of that year, the album peaked at #1 on the ARIA album charts for 2 weeks. The album was more defiant and outspoken than their previous work. The single Blue Sky Mining describes an asbestos exposure in Widenong mine tragedy. At the ARIA Music Awards in 1991, Midnight Oil won the Best Group and an Outstanding Achievement Award and were awarded the Best Album Cover, Best Video, and Album of the Year for Blue Sky Mining. I like this album. I liked it all the way through. It was pretty good. Difference in the sound. What would I call them? Let's see what we call them. What this guy? They call them rock and alternative hard rock. So I could say alternative, but I don't think it took me on too many great ups and the downs and ups and downs. You know, it was pretty mellow or throughout the whole. Not mellow is the wrong word. Consistent in tempo and that from throughout the CD. Slight tempo changes. It got a nice CD cover on it. By Columbia. So, first CD of the week. That was, what am I doing here? Okay, that was Blue Sky Mining by Midnight Oil from 1990. If you ever haven't listened to any stuff, some of the people might be new and haven't listened to any Midnight Oil, check some of their stuff out on your media services. Pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. Like I said, I have 2 in my collection. I don't know why I don't have more. The next one is one that I really forgot. Okay? And this is the 1990 album also. And it's by the Jeff Healey Band. And it's Hell to Pay. If you like guitars, you'll like this one. There's a lot of really, really good guitar work in this one here. And this was the second album by the Jeff Healey Band. In 1991, it was nominated for a Juno Award for Album of the Year. Guest musicians included George Harrison, Jeff Lynne, Bobby Whitlock, and Mark Knopfler. It reached the top 30 in 10 charts around the world. Good guitar work. Band only released 5 albums, and I only have this one. Jeff, the guitarist, no, sad story. As a very young boy, he lost his vision due to cancer, and his eyes had to be removed. And then he played the guitar, and then finally, after about 2 or 3 more battles with different types of cancer, he lost the battle and died at the age of at 41 years old. Sad story. Really, really good band. I am going to be looking for some more Jeff Healey stuff. That's for sure. Since this is the only one in my collection, I don't know why I didn't check out more. You know, I think back in the old days, we didn't have a lot of internet and so forth. And so there wasn't really a lot of real good ways of checking into groups and stuff like that. So, you know, I know we had the internet in 90, but it was pretty new. So that was Hell to Pay by the Jeff Healey Band in 1990. All right. Our final of the day is another thing that was already in the collection. We always look at the next next album up, and this is number 50. We just recently listened to an album by this group, but here's another one. This is the 1978 album by the Doobie Brothers, Minute by Minute, their 8th studio album. It was their last album to include the members John Hartman, until he came back with the album Cycles, and Jeff "Skunk" Baxter. The album spent 87 weeks on the Billboard 200 chart. In the spring of '69, Minute by Minute was the best-selling album in the United States for 5 non-consecutive weeks. Really good stuff. The song, What a Fool Believes, here's their inner, hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. In April of '79, became the band's biggest hit. The title track and Depending on You were also released as singles and reached the top 30. Minute by Minute made the Doobies one of the big winners of the 2022 Grammy Awards. The album got the trophy for Best Pop Vocal Performance by a Duo or a Group and received a nomination for Album of the Year. The single, What a Fool Believes, earned 3 Grammys, including Song and Record of the Year. Good stuff. This one brought back some really good memories, of my time. In 1978, that's the time I was half a year I spent in Michigan, SoCalSabre National Guard Base. 70, and the other half I had transferred and flown to Chev's Air Base in Belgium. I used to visit the record part of the BX over there in Belgium every week, and their nice studio. Here's the Warner Brothers album label. This is in really, really good shape. This was a VG Plus today. Well, that concludes what I listened to this week. Do you have any of these? You like them? You like any of the groups that I talked about? Let me know. Put it down in the remarks. I'd like to hear from you. And I always will get back to you. So now it's time where I'm going to be listing the 2 that I had the most fun with. And this was really, really tough this week because, Eric Clapton was in here, and Jack White was here, and John Lee Hooker, which I liked, and, a lot of good stuff in here. But going down the list, the first one that's got the yellow comment on, or the yellow highlight on it, is the 1990 album, Blue Sky Mining by Midnight Oil. I really enjoyed that album. I enjoyed it musically more than memories. Okay, that was really, really good. And so it'll go into the list and under the top CDs list. We'll see where it stands later on. And then this last one that I picked that I had a lot of fun with and enjoyed was Minute by Minute by the Doobie Brothers. Lots of memories about my days in Michigan and in Belgium and the Doobie Brothers. I like them. I think this was I don't know how many. I must have 4 or 5 different media of the Doobie Brothers in my collection. So anyway, don't forget to go down there and do all that good stuff that the YouTube asks us to do. And thank you very much for stopping by. This is SoCalSabre saying take care of yourselves out there. Be kind to each other. Stay safe.